What's up guys, I'm Kyle at Fortune Off-Road. In this video we're talking about rock lights. I'm going to show you where I put them on my rigs and how I think we can do it a little bit better. If there's one thing the off-road world likes, it is lights. For whatever reason, people are just throwing lights on everything, and when it comes to rock lights, it's no different. People love having all those lights on their trucks. And even with rock lights, I think a big part of that is just the cool factor. Like, how does it look? You know, nowadays we have all kinds of cool apps and RGBs where you can flash the lights, you can change the color on an app on your phone and all that. Really cool stuff. But if you're off-roading at night, you really do need to have some rock lights. This is for several reasons. Like, yes, you do want to be able to have other people see where you are, but also you want to see where you're going. So you want to see what's underneath your rig, what's in front of your tires, etc. Same if you're spotting one of your buddies up there. Also, if you're working on your rig, it can be super helpful. I had a video recently where I was just tying down the Jeep on the trailer at night, and throwing my rock lights on really helped with that. Like I said, a lot of people just do it for the cool factor. And what you'll see in these rigs is they have a rock light that is right above their tire, and then in the back they'll have another one right above their tire. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool like that, but the problem with that you'd think would be more obvious than it seems to be with people. If you have a light that's directly above your tire, it's going to be shining down on the tire and therefore casting a shadow on the front and a shadow on the back, when what you really want to see is what's in front of that tire, what's behind that tire, and also what is underneath the rig. So the way I've always done it is the simple way. I don't want any apps. I don't need the light color to change or anything. I just want it simple. I want a one color light set up in a few strategic positions, and I want just a switch that turns them off and on. Now, that's totally just my preference, so if you want to do it differently, go for it. The more important part, I think, is the placement. So right now my Jeep has 4 rock lights on it. It's got one right here to illuminate all the ground under the center in front of the Jeep, and then I have one under the rock slider on both sides right here to illuminate this whole area, and then you guessed it, one right here on the rear side, and that just lights up this whole area, and it's working great. The other day I realized I had like 4 or 5 extra of these rock lights. I think it just came with a bunch, like the kit came with like 10 of them or something. I ended up not using them. I did put some up on my roll bar right there, and it's kind of got this cool red light look, you know, and when I turn them on, it kind of lights the whole inside of the Jeep up like a red beacon, so that's cool. Yeah, mine are red, the Jeep's red, so I kind of just stuck with that theme. I think going white is probably the best because it illuminates the most, but do whatever you want to do. I've got some extra rock lights, and what I'm going to do is add 4 more on here. Now that I have them where I actually need them, I'm going to mount them for the cool factor, which is above the tire. So I'm going to find somewhere to mount them underneath here. I'm thinking I'm probably just going to put them right here. That way the wiring is really short and it'll minimize the amount of holes I need to drill through these nice aluminum panels. The other option would be to put it in the back right here, and then I could also, once again, run it real short right there. One cool thing about having them over the tires that I didn't talk about previously is that it can illuminate this whole area. So if you're working on your axle or your steering, I could see that being helpful. I've got my messy workbench here and one of the extra rock lights. Oh man, it's hard to do with one hand. This is the shape they are. They're pretty small. I'd say they're about 2 inches long, inch wide, 2 mounting points. They do come with a rubber grommet that can go on the other side. Yeah, they're pretty small and pretty simple. I'll turn one on right here just by hooking it up to this Ryobi battery. There you go. So obviously really hard to tell what that's like since this is on video, but it's pretty bright light. Like even during the daytime right now, it's really casting some light out. So I've got 4 more of these. Let's start putting them on the Jeep here. So I'm gonna go with the front option right here for a couple reasons. Number one, like I mentioned, it's just a little bit shorter of a path. It's right up here on my grill already, so you know, nothing weird with the wiring or the routing. And then the other reason is it's pretty close to the center of my tire, and you know, the center is probably a few more inches this way, but Yeah, I think this will be better overall. And then when we do our 1 ton stretch later on, I might end up stretching the front like 2 more inches. So if that is the case, this will be directly over the tire, which will be helpful. So here are those little grommets that come on there, and they're supposed to be for a bar, like they're a little bit rounded, but you can mount them on something flat and they will just form to it. So you have a couple different options of how you can route it through here. If you want it to go all the way through, you put the wire through the middle. This part just kind of like slides in there. We are gonna go out the side because we're just gonna run it right under the fender there. So drilling from the top, just get the holes aligned. These lights came with all this hardware, which, you know, I really didn't plan on using. I'm glad I kept it now. All right, for the rear, I think what we're gonna do is just go straight over the rear tire. So the question here is where to run the wiring. We've got a few holes drilled for the fuel lines coming down there. So on this side, I'll follow that. And actually on the other side, we have the same thing. There's some holes there already. So we're gonna have to go straight through this time. But for now, we'll use this as a template. Mount these babies up. Sticking down a little bit further than I thought. Originally, I was thinking we'd just stick these out to the side, but the tire's actually gonna get up right there. So I think we're gonna go inboard with them instead. Boy, is this Jeep dirty inside. Now that we got the top on, we should probably consider cleaning this out. Whoops. Close this bad boy. All right, so there's the rock light on that side. I think it looks pretty decent. You know, it's kind of just like a little puck hanging down. Really hard to see. There's that one. And the wire just goes back there. It's going to plug in with all of these tubes. One in the back again. A little bit easier to see on this side with the lighting. So I'm just going to try to pull this kind of taut and then zip tie it. There's the one on the front edge there. And speaking of zip ties, this is one thing I hadn't mentioned earlier, but this one is just zip tied on there. And the reason for that is because look where it's at. It's right under the rock sliders. Doubtful that that's gonna get hit by anything, but it could. I think all of these are. Yeah, this one's zip tied up there too. And so if any of these get hit, I don't want to just break the light and rip the wires out or whatever. I would hope that it would just kind of like scrape on it and then rip the zip ties, and then I can just put some more back on there. So. All right, so when you're wiring up the lights, the way I like to do it is just get a big roll of wire. That way you don't have to worry about how much is left. You're not gonna skimp on the wire or anything like that. And then when I wire it up, there's 2 different ways I like to do this. The first way is with these little spade connectors. Now they've got a female and a male, and if you have something that it's like critical that it can't be wired backwards, one technique is to wire it up so that your positive and negative have one of each. So that way, once you go to plug it in, there's only one way the wires can go back in. These plugs are good because some of them you just know you're gonna have to disconnect at some time, or maybe you're gonna put some new lights on there, different color, maybe they've got a different effect on them, something like that. So it'd be nice to just be able to pull these off without having to do the entire wiring. Now the other way to do it is just connect the wires together and then put some of that heat shrink tubing over it. And the mindset there is, yes, they don't disconnect, but if you ever do have to disconnect it, that would be a time to cut it and then put those spade connectors on there. So that way from then on, you can disconnect it, but it's up to you, whatever way you wanna do it. The key part for me, just to keep it looking nice and keep it protected and make sure those metal wires aren't gonna touch each other under the hood somewhere where you can't even see, I like to just use some heat shrink over it. So I'll heat shrink the red wire to the red wire and then the black wire to the black wire, and then I'll put heat shrink over both of them. An extra step is to get some of this nylon webbing. When you push it against itself, it opens up, and this is just a nice look for it, and it's an extra level of protection. When you've got this on there, you'll see it kind of has a jagged edge right here. You put the heat shrink over it kind of like that, and then it just ends up being a really clean look. The bonus there is that if you ever have to yank on the wires or the wires get yanked, it's a little bit more resistant to keep the wires together and not just slip out. Get yourself a cheap heat gun like this one. This one's just off of Amazon. And I just bought a container of all these heat shrinks. They're pre-cut and they're all different sizes. It makes it super easy to just connect everything. Butt connectors, I've said in previous videos, I really don't like using these butt connectors because if they crimp wrong, you will have a bad connection, and it's really hard to find out where that connection is sometimes, especially when you have wire that's going through a firewall or through your frame or wherever you want to route it. Could be a tricky place to get to, so I'm trying to get over it and use butt connectors again. It's really a pain in the butt to chase down a bad ground when that does happen. I've got some old wire strippers I've had for a long time. These can also crimp the connectors on, and then of course, a pair of dikes to cut everything pretty good. That's how we're doing it. The cool thing about wiring it is you can always cut it and supplement it later, shorten it, add some wire in. That part I really like about it. And these are lights, these are low draw LED, and I'm gonna be plugging all of this into my Auxbeam 8 switch controller. I've got another video up here you guys can check out. There's a really nice switch controller, RGB, so you can have it match all the lights. I used to have mine match the Jeep. Red, and it just has a little app that's super easy to work with, and the buttons are all 3 different styles, so you can do on off, or you can do momentary, it's only on when you're pushing it, or you can set it up to a strobe. You can even change how much the strobe is going to flash, like how fast, what frequency it's flashing at. A lot of cool options with it, so if you need a switch panel, I'd definitely recommend checking this one out. I'm going to end up upgrading the one in the Samurai to be probably that same one, maybe a little bit smaller. All right, the wiring's pretty much done. Let's head out to the driveway. It's night now. Let's see what these lights look like. I'm going to show you what it looks like with the way I had it before and what I think are the key spots. Then I'll show you what it looks like with just the cool version of having the lights in the wheel well shining down your tire. And then finally, we'll look at all 8 of them on there, and that should be the best illumination we can get out of it. All right, I've got all the lights wired up, but I put some tape over the new ones in the wheel wells just so we could get a little bit of a comparison for how well these are lighting up the ground. Okay, so you can see all the light in the middle, all the light in the middle, all the way around actually has pretty good lighting, but it doesn't look that cool because there's no light in the wheel wells. So it's just underglow. All right, now I'm gonna take the tape off and I'll put it on these ones, and we'll see which one is actually a more useful way to set up rock lights. All right, so now this is just the lights in the wheel wells, and you can see it definitely looks cool like that. But look at the ground. Huge shadow cast by this tire because the rock light's right above it. Pretty dark underneath the middle. And then once again, a huge shadow underneath this tire. So this is why I say it is really important where you're gonna put your rock lights, because look at the back here. You can barely see anything down the middle. You can barely see what the tires are about to run over, but I will give it to you. It looks pretty cool. So now I'm going to take all the tape off. We'll have all the rock lights going at the same time. And this is obviously the best way to do it. All right, this is all of the lights on there. And you can see this is pretty dang good coverage. Right under the middle, there's that little sliver that you can't see too well, but otherwise this is illuminated very well. So this is 8 lights, front, rear, left, right, and then all the wheel wells. It's pretty dang bright, especially the front, like up here. This is really well illuminated, which would be great if you're actually doing some off-roading. And it still looks pretty cool, especially with that glow in the rear there. If you're gonna set up rock lights, I highly recommend you set it up in the same way so you can get the most out of your lights. This is special. Marker lights, and you guys can get a little bonus here of my, oh my gosh, my new license plate light is extremely bright. Look at the ground. It's just ridiculous.
I don't know where to begin, because it seems like every time I get a